Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CEDH. Changing things up, as today and the next few videos, I'll be adding opening hands to the start of the video. And if you like this, let me know, or if you don't, also let me know in the comments down below. But starting us off is Phlage on Ashling, Flame Dancer. This is a mono red spells matter list, and today he's got an opening hand of 2 mountains, a mana crypt, cursed mirror, and an Aether Revolt, mulling a molten disaster to the bottom. Next up is mtga Loots, making his first appearance in a little while on 6. This is a mono green Graveyard Matters combo. His opening hand was a snow-covered forest, Finhorn Elves, Lotus Petal, Fellwar Stone, Walking Ballista, and a Survival of the Fittest and a One Ring. In the third spot is Hidden on Phlage, Titan of Fire's Fury. This is a Boros Staxy infinite mana list. His opening hand was an Arid Mesa, Bloodstained Mire, Ancient Tomb, Soul Ring, Fellwar Stone, Get Lost, with him putting a Wooded Foothills to the bottom. And bringing up the rear is Josh from Split Second on Nadu, Winged Wisdom. The boogeyman of MH3, this is a Simic value list. His opening hand was a Scalding Tarn, Gaia's Cradle, Snow-Covered Forest, Green Sun Zenith, Invasion of Ikoria, Mystical Tutor, and he bottomed a Sylvan Safekeeper.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
Phlage starts off the game with a mountain and passes. Loots has a snow-covered forest and taps it for a Finhorn Elves. But he's not done yet, as he casts a Lotus Petal and a Mox Amber. Hidden has a Bloodstained Mire, cracking the fetch to grab out a Plateau, tapping it for a Soul Ring, and then tapping the ring to cast a Fellwar Stone. Josh plays out a Scalding Tarn as land and cracks it to grab out a Tropical Island. He also has a Lotus Petal and cracks the petal to help cast an Invasion of Ikoria, where X equals 0. He gives the battle to Hidden and finds a Dryad Arbor. Phlage heads to his turn and plays another mountain. A Mana Crypt then comes out with him tapping out to cast his commander Ashling. Loots has another snow-covered forest and for 3 casts his commander 6. The commander resolves with Loots ending his turn, cracking his petal to cast a Fellwar Stone. Hidden plays an Arid Mesa, cracking it to bolt himself as he grabs an untapped Sacred Foundry. Hidden then casts his own commander and laments that everything is 4 toughness, as he debates where to send the Lightning Helix. Ultimately, he's more afraid of Nadu coming down than Loots having an extra mana, as he shoots the Dryad Arbor and gains 3 life. He then sacrifices his commander and chooses to place him into the graveyard for now. Josh untaps and plays a Waterlogged Grove as land for turn, ending his turn keeping his mana up. Phlage has another mountain and then rolls for Crypt. He takes 3 and then for 4 casts an Aether Revolt. He then heads to combat and sends 4 at 6. Loots takes the 4 with Phlage passing after that. Loot starts off his turn with combat. He sends 6 at Ashling, and on attack mills a Boseiju, a snow-covered forest, and a Mox Opal. Loots takes the Boseiju, and Phlage takes the hit, with Loots on his second main casting the One Ring. The ring resolves, granting him protection, with him ending his turn tapping it to draw. Hidden has an Ancient Tomb as land for turn, and passes the turn, with Josh at Hidden's end step Mystical Tutoring. He finds a Fabricate to put on top and heads to his turn. Josh untaps, draws his tutor card, and plays out a snow-covered forest. He then casts the Fabricate and finds a Shuko to hand, with Phlage at his end step floating a red. Phlage is safe from his crypt roll, and for 5 casts a Neheb the Eternal. Phlage then heads to combat and sends Ashling at Josh for 4. There are no blocks, with Neheb triggering on his second main to give Phlage 4 more red mana. Loots untaps and takes 1 from his ring. He then taps it to draw 2 and then heads to combat. He sends 6 at Hidden, with his attack trigger milling a Chromox, snow-covered forest, and a Dozen. Loots takes the land, with Hidden taking 2. Loots plays out a snow-covered forest and then enchants it with a Utopia Sprawl. The enchantment resolves, with Loots following it up with a Chromatic Star, although he quickly cycles it to just draw another card, with a Mana Crypt then coming out.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 7 mana. Still can't get there.
Can only imagine what he Counting 2.
I'm trying to kill an Ashling in these colors, and it's not easy. That's how sad
I don't think you have to worry about Ashling just yet.
2 mana then gets him a survival of the fittest, with Lutz handing the turnover after that. Hidden draws and misses his land drop, passing after that. I pass again.
Hey
You
guys,
missed
it's okay.
again?
We all built bad decks. It's okay.
Yeah.
Josh plays out a Gaia's Cradle as land for turn, ending his turn casting his tutored Shuko. DeFlurkin is safe from his script and then casts a Jeska's Will. He targets 6 and gets an Ashling trigger. But responding to this, Lutz casts a Force of Vigor, pitching Legolas's quick reflexes. He targets the Aether Revolt and the Shuko, with DeFlurkin then resolving the Ashling trigger. He discards a defense grid and draws, with the Jeska's Will then exiling a mountain, a fork, and a Wheel of Fortune. He gains a few red off the will, but spends it on a Pyretic Ritual. This triggers Ashling again to have him deal 2 damage to each creature and opponent. Lutz will float a mana off his mana dork, with DeFlurkin discarding a Cursed Mirror to draw. The ritual then resolves to get him 3 mana. He follows this up by playing his Exiled Mountain as land for turn and decides to wheel. This puts another Ashling trigger on the stack. But responding to this, DeFlurkin casts a Fury Storm. He targets the wheel and gets an Ashling trigger and a copy of Fury Storm, with the copy targeting the original. This puts another Ashling trigger on the stack, but Lutz will respond to this by activating Survival to pitch a Walking Ballista to grab out an Endurance. Then Hidden will have a response as he casts a Get Lost on the Ashling. This will destroy the commander and get DeFlurkin 2 maps. Now with priority reset, Lutz casts an Endurance, and has DeFlurkin shuffle in his grave. After that, DeFlurkin casts a Desperate Ritual to get more mana, and not have to discard 2 Ashling. He makes 3 red, and then draws off the Ashling trigger. And with this being his 3rd trigger, he makes 4 mana off of it. The first Fury Storm will then copy the original Fury Storm, with the new copy then targeting the Wheel of Fortune. The copied wheel then resolves, with everyone discarding their hands and drawing 7. DeFlurkin then discards a Crackle with Power to the Ashling trigger, and then casts a Commune with Lavo, where X equals 3. He exiles a Faithless Looting, a Pyroblast, and a Sensei's Top, with the Fury Storm creating a copy of the wheel. But with the 2 wheels still in the stack, Josh free casts a Force of Vigor. He exiles a Worldly Tutor, and debates what to blow up. He knows he's targeting the survival, but debates between Lutz's Mana Crypt or Hidden Soul Ring, ultimately deciding on Hidden Soul Ring. Now the second wheel trigger resolves, and everyone discards and draws 7. We unfortunately do miss the Ashling trigger this time, with the final wheel resolving after that. Players discard again and draw 7 more cards.
Wow, that is literally all lands. This is literally all lands. Every single card in my hand
wish I
has a
had
mana
all
ability.
lands. I wish, bro.
DeFlurkin is going to lose his floating mana anyways, as he uses 4 of it on the One Ring. He plays out a mountain as land and taps it with the last of his red for an Arcane Signet. He finally moves to combat and sends Nehebit Hidden for 4, with him triggering Neheb on his second main for 10 red mana. He spends 6 of it to recast his commander, but in response, Hidden flashes in an Aven Interrupter to plot the commander. DeFlurkin chooses to leave the commander in exile, and then follows all this up with his exiled Sensei's Divining Top into his exiled Faithless Looting. He draws and discards 2, before tapping the ring to draw another card. Looks like the table was able to stop him this turn, as he spins the top and ends his turn rearranging his cards. Lutz untaps and takes 2 from his ring, and then 3 from his crypt. He taps his ring to draw 3 cards, and then decides to go for it, as he casts a City of Solitude.
I hope this is a win this turn kind of thing.
I'm going to try, but I don't think it is, but I'm going to try.
This is one of those, I'm going to play defense grid and pass situations.
No, I'm going to take a real shot at it, for real.
Lutz then heads to combat and sends 6 at DeFlurkin. He forgot about the protection, but just wants the attack trigger, as he mills an Invasion of Ikoria, a Windswept Heath, and an Aftermath Analyst. Lutz gets the land 2-hand and heads to his second main. He thought he had it, but the invasion of Ikoria can't grab humans, which he would need for his groundkeeper loot. With Hidden also pointing out that his Aven makes the spells from graveyard cost 2 more mana. Lutz then plays out an Ancient Tomb as land and discards an Urza Saga to let him retrace his Walking Ballista, where X equals 2. He then shoots down the bird, but having spent most of his mana, can't do much else. He discards a land to retrace the LED, but hands the turn over after that, discarding a Sylvan library due to hand size. Hidden untaps and starts counting his mana. He plays out a Plains and casts a Mana Vault. He follows that up by casting a Heliod, and he would have had a guaranteed win if he still had the Soul Ring. But he knows he's probably not going to get back to his turn and decides to risk it, as he casts an Imperial Recruiter, which tutors out a Dockside. He then casts the Goblin, with the Flurgan tapping his top to draw. The Goblin then enters and makes Hidden 10 treasures. And here's where the risk comes, as Hidden casts a Reckless Handling. He finds a Walking Ballista and randomly discards an Esper Sentinel. This will deal 2 damage to his opponents, with Hidden being able to cast the Ballista where X equals 2. He then gives it lifelink off Heliod, and he can remove a counter to ping the table down, winning Hidden the game.
Game review. Well, I don't know why it's called Modern Horizons, when it really should just be called Commander Horizons, as there's so many sweet cards in this set. Ashling really surprised me there. There was so much value, and it basically happened out of the blue. I really thought this game was just going to be us getting steamrolled by Nadu, but luckily Josh doubled on mana. It felt that he just wasn't able to get a good foothill. 6 also surprised me quite a bit. I know when I saw the ability to retrace cards, it would have some sort of impact, but it definitely had more legs than I originally anticipated. And for those that stuck around, I had mentioned last week about a giveaway to celebrate the channel hitting 5,000 subscribers. So here's a little more detail. I'll be giving away a box of Modern Horizon 3 play boosters to one lucky winner, along with 3 of the commander decks. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my hands on the Eldrazi one, but I'll also be giving away free items from the shop. So if you're interested, there will be a link down below, and make sure to comment on this video what your favorite card from the set will be. Thanks to everyone who joined for the game, and before everyone leaves, I want to thank our special Patreon members, Slyfox, Tango Down, and Holy Septic for the support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.